Hey guys, and welcome to Lazio Rebuild here on the channel. Today we're going to be taking over Lazio, the team that currently is second in Serie A, obviously quite a few points behind Napoli at the top of the table, who have had an absolutely incredible season in the Serie A. Now Lazio have won 2 league titles and have won the domestic cup on 7 occasions. I believe they haven't won the league title in over 20 years, something like that. It was like in the 1970s or 80s when they last won the title. I saw it a few days ago, but I can't remember what date it was when I was planning out this rebuild. But let's get into this one, check out the team, make some transfers and take this team back to the top of Italy, and more importantly, to the top of the Champions League and win that all-important trophy. But before we do that, don't forget to drop a like on the video to go on to enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content you see, and turn notifications so you don't miss any videos. To get into it and check this team out. Okay, so as you can see, this is the team that we start off with at the start of the Lazio rebuild, and we're going to make some changes to the team. We are going to come for Basic to be the CDN, to be the backup to Cataldi for the first season, or I might sell Cataldi and bring in a younger talent. Not too sure yet. So Marcus Antonio can play the centre mid role off the bench, so he can continue to grow. I can see the area I've made that permanent signing, and he's going to get loaned out alongside Luca Romero, so those two can get game time elsewhere and hopefully can take over from Zakanyi and Filipe Anderson down the line. Sure, Immobile I'm going to leave here for season 1. Same with Alberto and Milinkovic-Savic, depending on if we need the money. I might sell one of these three, possibly Luis Alberto being, or maybe actually I'm not too sure which one of these I'll sell. Probably Luis Alberto. But left back Pellegrini is only on loan here from Juventus, so I might sign a first-team left back and just keep Highside, I forgot to say his name, as a backup to it for us this season, and let Pellegrini just get recalled by Juventus at some point. Romagnoli and Casale are our two, or Cassate, is it? No, it's Casale, is our new, or our two centre-backs, sorry. Massimiliano is going to be playing goalkeeper. Provedel is going to get sold so we can raise some money for all the funds, and we're going to give Massimiliano the game time, being obviously a younger goalkeeper, a lot higher potential than Provedel, and he can become the number 1 for the for Super Future of this rebuild, and hopefully the whole thing. We're going to keep Fades and Pedro on the bench for the season, just so they can obviously come off the bench when we need them, whilst Cancelleri and Romero are on loan. Let's get into the signings that we make, and hopefully we can make some good signings to take this team to the next level, and hopefully at least get top 4 this season. Okay, so going into season 1, after the transfer window, this is our team currently supporting Parisi, the young Italian left back. What I've used in a rebuild that unfortunately I didn't get to upload because it was on a PS4 with Palmer, but I know he's a great left back, so hopefully he can develop into a similar left back he was in that rebuild. We're supporting João Murray, the Portuguese right back, will convert into a right wing back, so he goes up in that position as well. We brought in Hydora here, the Leipzig centre mid, 24 years old, 70 rated, but he's got 81 or 82 potential. Hopefully he can become a pretty good box-to-box midfielder, because we do have Marcus Antonio behind him, who obviously is a great talent. We can possibly replace Milinkovic-Savic or Luis Alberto if we need to replace one of them in the future. As you can see, though, Chiro Immobile has already gone down to an 85 rating, and we have brought in João Pedro, the young Brazilian wonder kid from Watford, that everyone is talking about currently, to hopefully be his understudy and take over from in a season or two, depending on obviously Immobile's development or decrease, and João Pedro's development. And Cancelleri and Luca Romero both been loaned out for the season, so they will be out on loan, hopefully get some decent game time and come back higher rated, and hopefully take over from Felipe Anderson and Zakanyi at some point in the future. Let's get into this season and see how this team performs, as we are in the Europa League and we are currently fighting for a Champions League spot in the league. Okay, at the end of season 1, we have finished 6th in Serie A, which isn't too bad considering the teams above us, the likes of Milan, Inter, Napoli, Juventus, and obviously Roma, who have actually won the Scudetto this season. We're not too far away from the Champions League positions, only 69 points. Obviously, I believe 4 players get you Champions League football in Serie A as well. I'm not too sure. I think it still is Champions League football. But let's check out how we did in the Coppa d'Italia. We didn't make it to the final. We got knocked out in the quarterfinals by Juventus. In the Europa League, I believe we got knocked out in the round of 16, right? Yeah, we did. We got drew against... No, we didn't. We got knocked out in the preliminary round by Barcelona, who came down from the... did they come down from the Europa League? Champions League, sorry. I believe they did, right? Yeah, I believe they came down from the Europa League. No, the Champions League, sorry. Let's have a look at how the actual players performed this season. Now, as you will see, Provedel and Luis Massimiliano are actually possibly going to leave us next season. Provedel is going to go to RB Leipzig if the deal goes through. And Massimiliano submitted a transfer request because for some reason Provedel was played over him. I know that they're the same rating, but at the same time, why did Massimiliano only play 4 games at the same rating? That surely should have been rotating quite often or something like that. I don't know. Let's see how the players actually perform though. There's a most goal involvements. Chiro Immobile with 28 and 4. Zakanyi 18 and 8. Milinkovic-Savic 17 and 10. Felipe Anderson going up a +2 at 30 years old is massive for him, going doing 11 and 9 in the league, and not in the league, just in all competitions. And then Luis Alberto with 4 and 11, pretty good return from him as well. And yeah, we're gonna. One thing I wanted to show you is the players we loaned out. Obviously, we loaned out Marcus Antonio here, going up to a 77 rating at Athletic Bilbao. Ken Sidieri going to a 76 rating as well. And then where's Luca Romero up to a 72 as well. So a pretty decent loan deal for them two, more than three. Now Marcus Antonio and Ken Sidieri are going to return next season and be on the bench maybe, because Ken Sidieri probably could make it into the first team with Sol Felipe Anderson. He could grow a decent amount, because let's have a look at the actual team and the growth of it. As you can see, so Kenny going up to an 82, Felipe Anderson 82, Immobile only 85 ratings so far. Luis Alberto going up to an 85, Nikovic up to an 87. Dora up to an 80. Now we didn't get much game time because for some reason Pacino played over him for a long time, and then Cataldi's played a lot of games as well. Parisi up to an 82 rating. It's a massive growth from him at left wing back. Got Shamaro up to an 81 as well. Casale up to an 81 here. Romagnoli, I think we're going to replace next season because he is 28 now, and 83 rating is going to take 120 weeks or something like that to go up to the next rating. And obviously, we are possibly going to have to buy a new goalkeeper. João Pedro up to 76 as well on the bench, pretty good from him. Pedro is going to leave us, so we possibly need to buy a right wing next season, like a young right wing or whatever. I don't know, maybe a free agent or something like that to just be on the bench for us. But yeah, we've got a decent team going into season 2. And with a new centre-back and a new goalkeeper, maybe we can push for higher in the league and perform better in the Europa League as well. Let's get into season 2 and make some transfers and see how this team performs. Well, see how the team performs anyway. Okay, so season 2, this is the team we're going to go in with season 2 with Alexis Zaccagni and Felipe Anderson remain down the wings, with Luca Romero staying out on loan and Cancelero also going out on loan on a 1-year loan. And Moro is going to be the backup right wing, the young Spanish talent. He's going to take over that role for this season and see what he can do. I can see we've brought in Meslier to be our first team goalkeeper. We sold Maximiano. We also sold Providel, and we brought in Midas Villa to be the backup goalkeeper to him as well. We brought in Sven Botman to be the centre-back to replace Romagnoli in the team. As you can see, Haidara, Luis Alberto and Milinkovic-Savic remain in the centre-mid roles, as well as Luis Alberto being converted to a cam. He goes up to an 86 rating there. Immobile is going to stay at the striking role for as long as we can have him there until João Pedro is ready to take over. And if by the time Immobile needs to be replaced and João Pedro isn't at a level that he can take over in the team, then I will buy a different striker, similar to Zaccagni and Felipe Anderson. But I feel like Luca Romero and Cancelliere are going to be great players for the future of this team when they come back from loan after this season. And yeah, actually, so we've got a pretty decent bench. We've got great options in terms of depth for this team. We are in the Conference League this season, so I feel like we should pretty easily win that competition. So let's get into season 2 and show you how this team performed. Okay, so end of season 2, as you can see, we finished second in the Serie A, only 4 points behind the league winners, Juventus, which is actually pretty decent. In the Coppa d'Italia, we got knocked out in the quarterfinals yesterday by Napoli, who I believe went on to win it. Yes, they did. And in the Conference League, we actually went on to win the competition up against Benfica, defeating Arsenal, the biggest team we came across in the semi-finals there. Let's check out how the team did in terms of performances and who scored the most goals, who was the top assister, etc. Felipe Anderson going into an 85 rating at 31 years old. Impressive from the Brazilian with 27 and 14. Ciro Immobile with 20 and 3, back up to an 85 rating as well at 34 years of age. Zaccagni up to an 84 at 28, 19 and 5. Milinkovic-Savic 88, 10 and 12. And Luis Alberto 87 rated with 15 and 9 in all competitions. Let's check out the actual team. I can see, obviously, we know the front three. In midfield, Haidara only 81 rated. We have loaned out I forgot his name. Is it? I completely blanked on the midfielder's name that we loaned out, the Brazilian, who will be returning next season into the centre mid role, probably for Haidara. Possibly dropping down to the bench and just making or being sold one of the two, because I don't think he's going to grow that much. Parisi only up to an 83 this season, only a +1. Jamaro up to an 85, however. Casale up to an 83. Botman up to an 88 and Medier up to an 83 as well. João Pedro 78 rating is a bit better from him. Moro with good growth up to a 75, I believe, as a +5 for him. And yeah, some decent growth. Check on the players out on loan, actually, we need to check out real quick and see how they have grew. The likes of Cancelliere. Marcus Antonio, that's the player I was thinking of. 79 rated at this point. Lucas Romero returns to the next season, 75 rated. And Cancelliere only up to a 78 out on loan. But it's better from him at Atalanta. And yeah, maybe they'll just be on the bench next season and just grow on the bench to hopefully take over at some point. Let's get into season 3. And I don't think I'm going to make any changes to the team, to be honest. I feel like this team is actually decent. Maybe the bench, well, obviously with players coming back from loan next season, we have the bench pretty much sorted. Maybe a new centre-back, a backup centre-back could come in. Can Basic play centre-back maybe? I don't think he's tall enough. He actually can. How tall is he? 6'3". So yeah, we've got a backup centre-back there with him. We've sorted that out already. And yeah, let's get into season 3. See how the team performs. We are in the Champions League, obviously. See if we can win the league title. And also see if we can make it to the final of the Champions League, or at least the quarterfinals or semi-finals. That's where I feel like we need to be with this team. Okay, so season 3, as you can see, Cancellieri is actually going to get a chance to play down the left-hand side. We are sold to Kenny to Inter Milan of all teams. Obviously, we didn't want to sell into a rival, but unfortunately, the only team that came into him that were willing to pay the price tag I was willing to let him go for. And you can see we're brought in Moise Kean to be our first-team striker. João Pedro is going to remain the backup striker, because I don't think he's actually going to take over that position in this rebuild. But he's going to be a pretty good option off the bench, obviously, as you can see. Similar with Marcos Antonio in the centre-mid role. Ravella was brought in to be the centre-mid in this team. Maybe we need to put Milinkovic-Savic in that centre mid role in the centre, but Ravella will probably do decent, quite decently well there. And Basic has been brought in, not been brought in, as converted to a centre back, as you can see, and Audrey has been brought into a backup right back. And in terms of the right wing position, Luca Romero is currently still out on loan. Obviously, as you can see, we've got Moro and Gonzalez here, going to be the backups to the wing position for this season. But let's see how we do in the Champions League and obviously in the Serie A. Last season we were only 4 points off the title. Can we go one step further and win the title this season? We'll find out. And let's hope likes of Casale and Parisi can continue to grow. And the likes of Luis Alberto and Milinkovic-Savic continue to grow, as well as Felipe Anderson. There have been some real surprises in this rebuild so far. So let's get into this season and see where it holds for us. Okay, so very quickly, as you can see, at the end of season 4, we have finished top of the Serie A, winning the winning the league by 4 points. Ahead of Napoli. In the Coppa Italia, we have we lost in the final actually to Juventus. Again, so we got knocked out in the semi-finals, but we actually beat Roma there. But we lost in the final to Juventus. And in the Champions League, I believe we got knocked out in the quarterfinals. Yes, we did. Got knocked out by Real Madrid, who went out to eventual finalist Man United. So Man United for Juventus cup final there. In the squad hub, let's see how the players have performed this season. Felipe Anderson doing quite well. Moise Kean doing incredible as well. Milinkovic-Savic and Luis Alberto doing incredibly as well. Let's check out the team and their growth. And as you can see, just very quickly here, Ravella up to an 84. Let's see that from him. Got some good growth in the defence. Casale might have to get replaced next season, depending on his development plans. So I don't think he's got to grow more. If not, I might just play him as a backup centre back and try to get him on a sporadic role. But he probably won't accept that. But yeah, let's get into season 4. Let's bring in his centre back if we need to, and hopefully defend the Serie A title and make it to the Champions League final. Okay, so as you see, in season 4, we brought in Pau Torres to be the other centre back alongside Sam Botman. We're going to switch them around because obviously Sam Botman's got a faster weak foot, so he can play on the right hand side, and it's not going to make too much of a difference. And we are going to start Luca Romero in the first team over Felipe Anderson. Unfortunately, Felipe Anderson is going to start dropping down in his overall. Now he's 32, so hopefully Luca Romero can get a good amount of game time and get some good growth in the season, because he needs to catch up with Cancellieri if he wants to play down the right hand side in the Champions League final. But we're going to get into the season. We are in season 4, and I believe this team should possibly win the league, or at least challenge for the title this season. And I feel like we should do quite well in the Champions League as well. So let's get into it and see how this team performed. Okay, so in season 4, as you can see, we have won the Serie A title by 1 point over Juventus here in season 4. In the Super Cup, we didn't win that up against Juventus in the Coppa Italia. Have we done well in this? We did not. We got knocked out by Hellas Verona in the quarterfinals, but in the Champions League, did we make it to the final? We have taken on Bayern Munich. Could have been knockout round of 16. Real Madrid quarterfinals. We took on Porto. Then we took on RB Leipzig in the semi-finals. Bayern Munich in the Champions League final was interesting. Obviously, we let's check out the squad up here. So we have just done the Dortmund Crummers. There's a little bit more riding on it. Moise Kean, 27 and 3. Sorry. Luis Alberto, 33 years old, 23 and 13. Love to see it up to a 91 rating. Cancellieri, 21 and 6. Love to see that. Milinkovic-Savic, 8 and 6. And Luca Romero and Felipe Anderson played a decent amount of games each. Obviously, Felipe Anderson plays a little bit more due to being older. We are going to play Luca Romero in the actual final, because obviously he's a younger talent. He's going to be on the thumbnail, and he was hopefully going to be higher rated than he is, only 82 rated. But it is what it is. But the team looks like it's done well. Let's check it out on the before we get into the game. Let's check it out here. I can see we've got Cancellieri and Moise Kean. There's some great ratings in this team. Let's shut the bench. Actually, make sure the bench is set up properly. And I believe it is right. Yes, it is actually. Casale needs to be on the bench. There we go. But this Bayern Munich team looks pretty decent. Harry Kane up front, Musiala at cam, Leroy Sané, Kane to Coman. It's a bit so then Florian Wirtz at CDM, so centre mid. Alphonso Davies, Kimpembe Delete, Joshua Kimmich at right back, and Marsh Deferry in goal. And yeah, let's get into this final at the San Siro, up against Bayern Munich, and hopefully we can win the Champions League title right here, and end this rebuild with the title win here right now. And Luka Romero hopefully gets to lift that title this season. Let's get into this game.
This is where every top-level footballer wants to be after a long season. The Champions League final. Only 2 teams left in the battle for Europe's Premier Club competition. My name is Derek Ray, and I'm joined for commentary on this final tonight by Stuart Robson. What might we see today, Stuart?
Well, Derek, this is magnificent. The atmosphere inside this stadium is electric. Let's just hope the tension doesn't affect the players. It shouldn't do. Just look at the quality down there. Well,
that's yours. Okay. Messi, I'm not sure what you're doing there. I don't know why I didn't just wait for it to roll through to him and then pick it up. Look at Romero now. Argentinian, that's a penalty. I'm sorry, but that's a penalty every day of the week. Oh no. João Mario commits to the Leroy Sané. João Mario slows him down, but Musiala still gets the ball, and then okay, how have you given away a penalty there? No penalty, corner, sorry. How's he managed that? Musiala now. Good challenge here from Milinkovic-Savic. 17 minutes in, still 0-0. Corner puts in. Rivella heads up clear, only as far as Kane to the commando. Pembe, Sabitzer, Harry Kane. Good challenge there from Milinkovic-Savic. Now Luka Romero. Gotta use your pace, lad. Use the pace, and can you find the finish at the end of it? Luka Romero, why did he go with that foot? Why didn't he switch foot? He had time. Actually, purposely. Oh, why have you jumped the challenge? You didn't need to jump the challenge. First now, forward to Musiala. Kimmich. Into Harry Kane. We'll play through Parisi, that's yours. Now Messi, get it out. That's a Keane. Cancellieri. I hate those first touches when my players just don't move after they take a touch and just watch the ball ahead of them. Okay, Luis Alberto. That's a Keane. Through here. Cancellieri. We find the finish. No, we can't. Marshall Philly makes a great save. That's ours. Botman, not yours. Or Pau Torres, sorry. That is Botman. Parisi now. Out wide here. Cancellieri. This is side. Can we find the finish? But Marshall Philly denies him yet again.
Coman and Bayern moving the ball with purpose.
Okay, we got a little bit fortunate there. But my fortune's going to run out there because that is not the pass that's looking to go. Sure, just cleared it. Okay, why is it not letting me switch it? Oh, block this Botman. Sven Botman, great block there. For some reason, it won't let me select Sven Botman. I'll move Rivella a little bit further forward. Hopefully, use his attacking ability a bit more than we are doing. Luis Alberto, that's yours. It should be a goal. Luis Alberto. Oh, should have had the ball there. Should be in Brandt. Why should be Brandt doing in a Bayern shirt? Spotman. See him Botman now. Romero needs to switch play. Great pass there. Win that header. No. Oh, play it to the man I'm trying to play the pass to. You should have played direct next to you. Again. Good defending there from Milinkovic-Savic. Oh, play the pass to the feet, man. When I want you to play it like behind them or ahead of them, you play it to the feet. When you want you to play it to the feet, you play it behind them or ahead of them. Good save there from Messi. Had to bring Pau Torres out here, and Kimmich is going to cut it in. Yep, know it. Ignore marks it, and we're going to play it here. And we're going to play across back across, but we challenge them and block it. Good work there. This is rather risky though. But we get it out. I shouldn't have risked that, but we got away with it.
20 minutes to go in this one.
Luis Alberto. Not really seen much from him. There's Alberto, ball over the top, looking for Boyce Aquino, gets in the end of it. I think it was offside though. It was. Cancellieri now. Great work there. Alberto. Forward here. Ravella. Finish. There we go. 74 minutes in. Nicola Ravella, Juventus talent, scores a goal to put us 1-0 up, assisted. That's a great bit of pressing there, winning the ball back. That's what I've been doing to Bayern for the longest time. It's been one of the most even Champions League finals I've played in. There's nothing really in between the two teams, but it's a good pass there from Luis Alberto, I believe it was. A great finish from Ravella. Nothing more I really think I know about that one. Into the far corner, side netting. You're not getting to that. And we're 1-0 up here in the final in the 74th minute. Let's hope we can hold on to this lead. Ian Matson, a player that I've recently used on a rebuild, who's an incredible left back. Not sure why I'm playing it so dangerously, but Luca Romero against Alphonso Davies. Let's give him a bit of room here. Cuts back. Out here to Joao Mario. Oh, why? It's Nicola Assumption going for that. Out here to Cancellieri. Putting out the tricks there. Cancellieri. This is to Ravella. Got it over the top looking for Luca Romero. Penalty referee. High foot there from Alphonso Davies. That was dangerous. Joao Mario. Oh no. Give Ravella good work. Credit to Luca Romero. I want Luca Romero to have a moment. Luca Romero. Ravella. With the Trivella. Oh, it's saved. But it's a 1-0 win. We'll take it. It's not the flashiest of wins. It's not an exciting really game. It's not an exciting game. It wasn't really. There was moments in there. But all that matters is the result at the end of the day. And Ravella got the only goal in the game, assisted by Luis Alberto. And we did deserve to win, to be fair. We pretty much dominated this game. We had like 2 or 3 chances that you would have seen, but other than that, they didn't really do much. We once we got into once I figured out how the way the team plays, we just completely dominated the whole game and just created chance after chance after chance, which Momashvili was saving or we were missing. But Luca Romero didn't need Felipe Anderson. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't use him because obviously it's not every day you get to use Felipe Anderson in this chromo at an 86 rating these days. But I was more excited about using Luca Romero in this one. The whole thing was meant to be built around him and Cancellieri. Obviously we got to see them both not at the peak of their powers, but on their way to the peak of their powers. And Luca Romero, the young Argentinian, lifts the UCL title and is well on his way to becoming the next Lionel Messi. After this title win here and for putting a good performance in a UCL final, we'll put a lot of obviously eyes on you, a lot of pressure on you. But if there's anyone that can do it, it's him. And yeah, we built a pretty good team here, not gonna lie. Once I actually created the tactics and put the team how I wanted it to play with the players that we have, it played quite well. It was like 20 minutes where I forgot to do the tactics, so it's a little bit off defensively. But as you saw, we kept a clean sheet in the UCL final. That's very rare. But usually you can see like 3 goals in the UCL final, or in any game in FIFA. You don't really keep clean sheets these days, but we did here, and it just goes to show how great these players are. Obviously, we're going to show the team at the end of it. We're going to talk about a couple of players, but we're going to see the team photo here, and yeah, what a team we built. And we're going to look at it any second now. And if you want to leave now, don't forget to drop a like on the video, subscribe, and turn notifications. But if you want to stay and hear my final thoughts on the players, stick around, and we'll get to that right now. Okay, so starting from the goalkeeper position, going forward in the team, Messi, a very good goalkeeper in this game. We can train him up. Obviously, he's 6'5", and yeah, he's obviously got incredible height. Can reach shots that some goalkeepers can't. If you train him, obviously he's a very young player to begin with anyway, so you can train him to be a great goalkeeper, and he would still go over the 90 rating, probably a 92 indiscriminately with reach if I kept training him fully well and we kept performing well. But onto Joao Mario, incredible right wing back. Genuinely, he was so consistent. Every challenge he put in, he won. And there's not many fullbacks like that in this game where you win every challenge you put in with them, but he did, and he's a great player. Obviously plays for Porto, the right back, the Portuguese right back. I'd recommend you try him in the career mode. Same with this man, Parisi, incredible left back. Obviously not the most physical fullback, but he's obviously, how tall is he? He's 5'10". He's got a decent amount of height about him, but he's more of a faster, agile, not really paciest left back, but you know what I mean. It's one of those left backs that can catch up with the faster players on a wing and put in the challenges. Similar to John Murray, they complement each other extremely well on either side of the pitch. And same with these two defenders, Pau Torres. I think I might have used it before in this FIFA, I'm not too sure. But there wasn't really any other defenders I felt like bringing in for this rebuild other than him when I obviously made the signing at the start of the season. And yeah, incredible defender. Sven Botman, also an incredible defender. Ravella, great midfielder. I recommend if you do use him as like there and put Milinkovic Savic there. If you use this formation, I wouldn't use this formation in a career mode myself. But yeah, it works quite well in this one. Ravella, obviously great midfielder, great talent from Juventus. I learned that in the first season, but I recommend you bring him in to be a midfielder. Can convert into a cam maybe. He'd probably do quite well right there. Milinkovic Savic, we all know Milinkovic Savic is a great midfielder on FIFA. He's tall, physical, can shoot from range, has decent passing, and just is a beast in midfield. Luis Alberto, obviously surprised probably a lot of us in this career mode, in this rebuild. 33 years of age now, 90 years old, the former Liverpool man. It was a very good cam, to be fair. And I reckon if we used him in more games, we'd get to see the peak of his powers. But I can see his passing was quite good. If you train this guy up, he's obviously 85 rated at the start career mode, I think. So he's an already decent player, and you could try out. But Ken Chilieri, this guy, incredible talent. Loaned in to Lazio in the first season. He's a Hellas Verona talent. Is on loan at Lazio from Hellas Verona. But I recommend you try this guy out. Incredible winger. He's fast, he's short, he's agile. Is obviously incredible. 93 long shots, I think you can see there. Incredible passing, great dribbling. There's his traits if you want to see those. Outside the foot shots, so you can Travella with him when you need to. And yeah, it's great. It's actually 5'11" actually, so it's not the shortest winger in the world compared to Luca Romero. Obviously, but it's not at the peak of his powers. In this one, I feel like we should have used him last season in the first team instead of this season. This was actually his first full season in the team, but we have still loaned him out for the longest time. But it was great. As an 80 rated player, he felt extremely good in that final. He's very good at dribbling, very good pace, a great talent. And yeah, if you want to have the next Lionel Messi in the team, this guy can guarantee to become that. And Moise Kean, just great striker. He just is a great striker. Incredible pace, 6 foot, decent physicality, or pretty good physicality, great finishing, and just a great striker. I'm going to stop waffling here. Try out all these players in your career modes because they're going to be great for you. Even players on the bench like Morrow, João Pedro, Marcus Antonio, some great players there. And yeah, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications so you don't miss any videos. Let's end the video, here. And tomorrow will be the beginning of a new career mode. So if you want to check that out, feel free. And yeah, we're going to end the video. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.